studio now with Jacques Soul Cups. It's good to have you here, Jacques. How are you?
I'm great, and it's a pleasure to be here.
It's our second live show of the day, and we're going to bring the updates of what's going to be happening from the rest of the day. The launch is this afternoon of our 17 teams from 9 countries. But Jacques, first of all, a little bit about you. You're very well known for your passion for all types of ballooning, hot air ballooning, Rosiers, gas ballooning as well, and for, I think I'm correct in saying, tell me if I'm wrong, the largest private collection of ballooning artifacts in the world. Is that correct?
That's correct. It was. It is.
And it was it now. I think you told me earlier it was 2 50-foot trucks and 7 containers of equipment.
7 lorries, 3-foot lorries, and 2 flatbed trucks, box trucks that all came from South Dakota here to Albuquerque to the museum.
And you're a past president of the CIA and a current president of honor of the FAI. Is that correct?
A companion of honor. Companion.
So I said to you, what does that mean? Is that like a big salary? Is it a private jet? Do you get to go everywhere?
You get a flag. You get to carry the flag during the anthem down the main aisle. Sit in the front row. Can't talk, can't vote. Just carry a flag.
So, Jack, you've competed in 3 Gordon Bennetts.
Yes.
Now, you've also done a lot with the World Championships of gas ballooning. I don't know if people really realise the difference between the Gordon Bennett, which is the distance World Championships, and then the World Championships of gas ballooning. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Well, the World Gas Ballooning Championships is more like precision flying. Yeah. There can be a distance task involved, but the other 2 tasks are usually precision tasks. So it's not just balls to the walls, let's see how far we can go. Yeah. You're going to have to know how to control and manage your ballast for those tasks in order for you to get a good score. We had the 6th World, I think, Gas Balloon Championship, before that, in Tyndall, South Dakota on my farm in 1989, and the first Rosier World Championship, and that went very, very well. Joe Starkbaum, of course, won that, and said it was really a great, great 8 days flying out of the Midwest for South Dakota. Precision flying.
Yeah. Well, at 10 o'clock this morning, the teams have got their first briefing, the first official briefing of the launch day. If you were there now, if it's half an hour before the first briefing, what would you be thinking, Jacques? What's going through their mind with the teams right now?
Where to put the toilet? They're really zeroing in on the weather and the meteorology, the trajectories, the ground winds for inflation and launch. But then what happens when we lift off into the dark? What direction are we going to go? Where do we have to go? What is our strategy? Up, down, left, right? What ballast management are we going to have? And how is our meteorological team going to be directing us? Yes. And with satellite phones now and all the modern day equipment instead of die-hard batteries like we used to have in the 80s. Yeah. It's really a lot of work, a lot of concentration, a lot of energy, and a lot of enthusiasm for wanting to be in a basket with a partner for that long and that cold.
Yeah. Well, a little bit earlier we caught up with a few of the teams, and first of all we spoke to the pilots from Team Spain 1. Let's see what they had to say. Here with Team Spain. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
So, por favor, en español llamas, por favor, primero vez. Give me your names in Spanish first so I don't mispronounce.
Ángel Aguirre.
Yeah, Anulfo González.
Yeah, it's better than my Spanish. My Spanish is not that good at the moment. But welcome, guys, and welcome back to Gordon Bennett.
Thank you. Pleasure to be back.
What was the decision? When did you decide that you were going to compete this year? How did it come?
Well, every year, I mean, we missed the 3 COVID years, which was quite hard to be on the ground and watching the other teams competing. But it was obviously very, very hard for us, in terms of work and stuff like that. But the plans to come back were already all the time here. And to come back to Albuquerque, which is like a second home for us. We've been here many times with gas and also with hot air. Was like the perfect occasion to come back to the sport.
You've had some good fun here with the America's Challenge, right? Tell me about this.
Yes, we competed. Actually, it was our first competition in 2011, and when we came back in 2014, we were so lucky to win the competition. So we have very good memories of it.
Tell me a bit about gas flights here from Albuquerque. We know we've got the mountains we've got to get past, and the traditional northeast. How has it been? What are you thinking it's going to be like?
Well, for us, it's very different than to fly in Europe. But really, especially our team with Anulfo, we don't have the chance to fly quite often. In Spain, we never took off from Spain. Well, you did, I think, a short flight, but it's very difficult for us. So if we want to train, we have to go to Germany. So we have the experience of the several Gordon Bennetts in Europe, but it's much different than here. Of course, apart from balloonists, we are travelers. We like to go as far as possible, always. So if we have the chance to go to US for competing, we prefer it. And a big difference also is that the navigation with the air traffic control in Europe, you are changing different countries quite often, is let's say more stressful. And here it's we'll see, but in theory it should be more relaxed, and the landscape is also much different for us, so it's we prefer it.
What about the draw? How do you feel about your position?
Well, first of all, it's a matter of luck. I think it has an advantages and disadvantages. In terms of the inflation, I think inflating one of the first will be better tomorrow, because there's a chance that it's going to be a very windy inflation. So, but actually we don't care that much. I mean, you have more references, but it's sometimes there are other teams who are passing you. For the people who are watching the sport, sometimes they feel that if you're not in front of it all the time, you are in a disadvantage, which is the contrary, because it's not important who is running first, is who is at the end having the opportunity to get lost there.
Yeah. And can you tell everybody a little bit about the expeditions, the adventures you've had, apart from the Gordon Bennett, with your hot air, with the was it the North Pole or the
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. It was on the change of the millennium. We had the first project was to go to the North Pole and do a hot air flight over the North Pole. Yeah. And then when we came back, the sponsor was so happy, the family was so happy to see us back, and they say, okay, why don't you go to the South Pole? And we knew that it was going to be much more difficult, because the infrastructure in the South Pole is almost nil. It's already a challenge to get to Antarctica to do anything, but everything works so well. I mean, we have very good memories of that. Yeah. But obviously, if you have a family and these are unique opportunities to do something special, but you cannot be all the time. It would be so selfish to do something for you all the time. But also in gas ballooning, you have the opportunity to integrate your family. If you see some of the teams like the Amers family, they have the kids and the grandkids here, which is also very nice to put them into the sport even at a very early age.
And for yourselves, with your team, for support, have you got people here or people working in Spain with your trajectories and your meteo? Are you doing it yourselves? Or?
In our case, we have a local team here of 6 people who are retrieving, but we also have a control center in Catalonia and in the place where the company of Angel is near Barcelona, and our meteorologist is from Belgium. So it's a kind of international team, but we understand each other very well because we speak the same language, which are trajectories, weather, thermals, and this kind of stuff.
Fantastic. Well, muchas gracias, muchachos. And best of
you.
luck and great flights. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You were just saying very articulate.
Very articulate Spanish team, yes. Very good.
We got a message through from Douglas Culler. He asked, where can we watch the races? Where can we see it? And you can see it on live.gordonbennett.aero. It's on the screen there, live.gordonbennett.aero. When the launch happens, you can follow all the action throughout the nights, where they're going to go, where they're going to be. Any predictions, Jacques, of where you think people might be going?
Well, I predict they're going to be going up into the air, and they're going to go several kilometers further than I ever went.
You got the shortest distance, have you?
Yeah, 11 kilometers, I'm told, yeah.
Because there was a few years ago, the Imers, they flew quite a few
my goodness,
100 kilometers out and then came back, but yours was 11.
Yeah, I'm still the lowest.
You should get a special price for that.
Yeah.
So Rosier balloons, you're quite famous for that as well. Tell me about the what's all that about?
Well, the Rosier balloon was developed by Don Cameron using, of course, helium and hot air, much smaller burners, much less BTUs. And the idea behind it, it's much more efficient than carrying sand ballast. By heating the helium at night, instead of throwing ballast overboard as sand, it's going to be much more efficient for long distance flying and for round the world flying. And that's why the Rosier balloon was around the world successful team. I always like to carry a bag or two of sand, but Don didn't like that, and he would kind of slide it off the basket before we took off for our world records from his back garden, as we say.
Yeah. And would it be correct in saying that you're the father of special shaped balloons, Jacques?
Well, I've been dubbed that by several TV networks, but in reality, I would give that honor to the late Malcolm Forbes, who had the chateau, but the TV interviewer said, well, he's late, he's dead, you're not, so you're the father of special shapes, he's the grandfather. But really, Don Cameron deserves that title in Bristol, England.
All right. Well, back to the Gordon Bennett action. We caught up with last year's winners, the team from Germany, and the Eimers. Let's see what they had to say. So the Eimers are here, Willie and Benny. Just off camera, they were saying we should do it like the boxing match. Ladies and gentlemen, the defending champions of the world. Gordon Bennett, defending champions. This is not your first interview today. You've had quite a lot telling the same story. How has it been today?
Good, very good, very good. So we are excited that the weather is good tomorrow.
Yes.
And we're looking forward for a very nice takeoff launch tomorrow. With we are in 4th position.
Yes.
So that's quite nice because then we can see some other balloons still there.
You like that? You like to watch and see what everybody's doing and where they're going?
Oh yeah. But the first hours are not so important. I think we just enjoy the view of the launch field and the fiesta. And so then we will start fighting.
Hey, Willie, the museum were getting tense about the trophy today. The trophy was a long time coming, eh?
Yeah, the trophy was by me to home, and we the winner of the last trophy. When the race beginning, then we give the trophy back, not earlier. That's our trophy.
I'll just keep it just in case, eh? Just keep it just in case you're going to win again. What do you think? Where on the map are we going to be this year? Where's the touchdown going to be?
Should I put out the secret or?
Yeah.
But
We won't tell anybody.
But only switch off the camera.
Right, we're not recording.
Okay.
Good. Right.
No, I think it will be Washington D.C. We already talked to Biden, and if we can land just in front of the White House.
Yes.
So,
On the lawn.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be brilliant,
Sure.
wouldn't it?
Sure.
This would be a good day for Washington D.C. A good day for the White House.
No, it will be quite a challenge because it's very slow.
Yeah.
We're on the center of the high pressure, so good for the people watching us, the tracking, because it should be a very long race in duration. So minimum, I think we expect minimum 3 days, 3 nights.
Right. So. Maximum? Or?
Maximum is the problem because we are quite high here. So we already lost about 10 to 15 bags. So its elevation is here something like 5,000 feet, I think.
Yes.
5,000 feet.
Yeah.
So that means that normally you will have 1 night less than when we took off at lower elevation.
Yes.
So that will be quite a challenge to have the 3rd night already. Normally it's easy to fly the 3rd night. Then it's a challenge to get in the 4th night. But you need durations this year.
What do you think, Willie?
I think the same. 2 nights is okay. That's everything.
Yes.
But 3 nights, it's this altitude is very difficult. 4 nights you cannot fly in America. 4 nights.
Right.
That is the 2 highest year. When we fly 4 nights, 96, 92 hours. The 3rd night was raining, very low raining, and we fly under the clouds. No sun. The temperature difference in the night and the day was very short, and that it's here nothing here.
So you're getting no rise, no fall?
I think 60, 70 hours, that's too much. Humans landing in the 3rd night in the evening, latest.
Just have for the statistic team of Gordon Bennett TV, maybe I have a small task.
Yes.
You can watch, look from the previous races, what was the maximum duration. So I think there are very few flights, maybe they're more than 70 hours.
Right.
So in this year now, normally you need 100 hours to go to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So that will be quite a challenge.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's going to be on. But it makes it a different game, doesn't it? When you've got this light wind, when you've got not much movement. I mean, what do you do in your mind? Do you change anything?
Oh, that's we need to see that.
Yeah, that's a secret stuff, isn't it?
No,
That's-
no, no, not really. But that will. So we normally we make the forecast for the maybe first 12 hours from our command center. That we'll be here in the hotel, so very close by us. And first we have a strategy maybe for the first 12 hours, and the long-term strategy we will then see when we're in the air, because there in the light wind there are so many changes possible that we really need to see what is the forecast and what we will find actually.
Yeah.
So and yeah, that's a big deal and the big thing with when we have very slow winds. Yeah.
Every team had the same procedure.
Yeah.
And the question is, what strategy you have? One, two, three. And what the strategy is for the winner, the one or the third, that is the question. And when you have the mistake strategy, you cannot win the race. It is 50% lucky. We have I think from the 17 teams, is 5, 6, 7 teams can win.
Right.
That is it.
Okay, well, it's good words. We'll look forward to it. We can't wait to see you getting in the air tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I could listen to the Imers for hours and hours.
Hours
eh?
and hours.
We got a message through from a good friend of the show, Dawn Honey Chase, Pennsylvania, your place, said, tell other teams to get to Eastern Pennsylvania. We've got crew there to help.
Yeah, Barnegat, New Jersey, right by the bay. I don't know where Dawn is, but probably close.
Don't forget the hashtag GB2023. And just before we go and hand back to the boys at Balloon Fiesta Live, I must say, Jacques, I can't let you go without giving you one of your well-known gas ballooning anecdotes.
Oh, one of them. I'm going to give you a funny one about Mark Sullivan. Yeah, the current CIA president, taking off here from the Fiesta in our balloon called Fast Gas. Now, who names a balloon Fast Gas? We're heading towards the lower end between the Sandia Mountains and the Manzanos. And I said, we have to go up. Starkbaum says 1,000 feet above the top. Oh, no, let's just go low. I said, Mark, no. He said, yeah, okay. I said, here, to put 2 bags of sand on the seat, I'm going to put my knees down because something's going to happen when we go that low. He said, what? I said, it's called a rotor. We get over, and sure enough, kaboom, up we fly, 2,000 feet down, basket out 90 degrees. Well, Mark learned his lesson, I think, and he's far surpassed anything I could have ever done.
Brilliant. Jacques, it's been an absolute pleasure to be
A pleasure to be here, and thank you so much. Best of luck covering the best and oldest aviation race in the world.
It's getting close, guys. A few hours away now. The meeting is happening now. Then we start the inflation and then the launch this evening. We hope we'll be back around 4 p.m, around 1600. That's the plan for our next show from here in the Gordon Bennett TV studio. But from Jacques and from me, we're going to throw it back to Art and to Glenn on the rooftop studio of Balloon Fiesta Live.